Hmm. I'm going to close the floor. Hmm. Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm going to wait a few minutes for a few more people to join us, but in the meantime, those of you that have joined us, thank you so much. Super excited to be here. My name is Ryan Williams, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through some of the new features. Those of you that have the Genius, hopefully you updated your software as of yesterday, I believe. The new Genius versions were released, both for the iOS version as well as for the Android version. And then over and above that, we went and we updated the Insight Quanta capsule as well. And my plan today during this presentation is to be able to go through. Sorry, as I'm talking, I'm just going to have to keep on admitting people, so kind of bear with me, please. Okay, we're slowly adding everyone. So those of you that are just joining us, thank you. My name's Ryan Williams. As I was saying, part of our focus today is to go through some of the new updates, both with the Genius app, which is both live on the iOS store, as well as the Android store, and then the Insights Quanta Capsule directory as well. So, over the last couple of months, we haven't really had many software updates, primarily because we've been working on both the Quanta Capsule, the Practitioner directory, and then obviously the new integration with the AI, which we are actually deeming ancient intelligence. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe just start with the easier one, which is the ancient intelligence, which is the AI. I really do want to stress with you, at the moment, AI, I'm not going to lie, it's very new to me, very new to our company. It's something that we still, we are still busy learning. Um, we have been working with different versions of AI in terms of development with the Genius, probably for the last year to sort of year and a half. We've been trying to find ways to integrate it, et cetera, et cetera. What I'm showing you today will be the AI version, which is version 1.0. It's very much the beta version. And in fact, as we speak now, we're currently working on a new updated version as well. So that new updated version will probably be available in the next couple of weeks. But what I'm hoping is that you can have a look at the Genius today with the AI integration. It should offer you some insights into what it can do. However, at the moment, it is a very sort of limited capability that we have. But as I said, it is our beta version. And, obviously, we could spend another 3 or 4 months developing this and refining it and making it bigger and better. And then there's something different happening. So we figured we'd rather come out with our first beta version. What is really nice about the beta version is that on most of the important pages, you can push a button and then it'll basically help you analyze the data and then suggest specific Genius protocols, etc. I think at this time as well, I'm going to endeavor to answer any questions if you do have them. And by all means, if you do, just go ahead and pop them down in the question box. And then if I get bored of hearing myself talk, I will certainly move over to the questions. And if I can answer some of them, great, I will. Absolutely no problem. So that's first and foremost with the Genius AI, which is the ancient intelligence. So let's go ahead and pull this up. And Okay, bear in mind, this is my software that I do a lot of testing on. So some things may look slightly different to on your page versus what I am showing you here. But I'm assuming that right now you can see the Genius Insight screen. And if you now have a look on the bottom right-hand corner, we have what's known as the Genius AI, Genius Ancient Intelligence. And really, for all intents purposes, what it is, it's basically an integration of ChatGPT at the moment. The new version that we're working on will have a deeper integration with ChatGPT, but really, the best way forward for us was to integrate the ChatGPT function. Now, what that means, to give you an idea in terms of what we've done from our sort of development side, is we've taken all of our technical documentation, we've taken our source codes, we've taken our training manuals, we've taken technical documentation, everything that we've been kind of building and gathering over the last 10 years or however long the Genius has been around. We basically took all that as documentation and then we uploaded it to our own workspace. So basically, when you are using now ChatGPT, ChatGPT has the ability to actually read every single data point within a specific page. So as an example, on the system overview page, which is what we're looking at here, you see we've got a Genius AI function. If I go ahead and click on this, it's actually done the analysis. Let's go somewhere else. So as an example, if you get to the general overview page here, you can see explore findings in the general overview. It's a simple click of a button. And then typically what is happening right now is that the ancient intelligence or AI is basically analyzing all of the data on the specific page. And then it's using all of our training manuals, our technical documents, our FAQs as a sort of reference point, and then it's helping provide you, the practitioner, with some insights into the specific page. What kind of excites me about this is, if I think about like when I first got involved with this industry with, quantum biofeedback 20 or 25 years ago, what was really fortunate for us at that time is that at the same time when quantum biofeedback was launched, actually, just let me go ahead and record this as well. Bear with me. Let's see. Okay, well, I guess we won't be recording it today. Um, but essentially, when I got involved with quantum biofeedback 15, 20 years ago, what was exciting to me is that at that time, it was the kind of launch or the introduction of home personal computers. And at the same breath, at the same extent, those computers that as they came out into the consumer market, in the same breath, we came out with sort of quantum biofeedback. And back in those days, the power of the computer was obviously very limited. And, obviously you have issues with RAM and the system crashing, et cetera, et cetera. And, nowadays, if you look at, for example, iPads or sort of iPhones, they are 10, 20 times more powerful than what the computers back, 15, 20 years were. And, really why I'm sharing this is that it's just a sort of evolution. Technology evolves, computers evolve, new operating systems come out. Things just basically get better and better. And what excites me specifically about working with this AI is that for you as a practitioner, and part of the feedback that we had is there's so much data to crunch, and at the end of the day, if we can work smarter, not harder, I think that is a win. And um, to me, that's kind of really exciting because now instead of spending a extended period of time trying to look at the data and understand, common themes and common patterns and look for a protocol, now you basically push a button, AI harnesses the power of the data that we've provided it with, and then it provides you with simple instructions. So as you can see, this is the general overview page. It'll give you a summary. The scan results depict various energetic disturbances, highlighting both excess and blue numbers. It then gives you some suggestions to focus on the high values such as depression, respiratory, and endocrine, and with deep imbalances during lifestyle or physiological stress, have a look at vitamin D, apathy, etc., etc. It then highlights with some key points, provides you with a genius balancing protocol. So begin with balancing high frequency categories like depression and respiratory to stabilize emotional and physical health, subsequently address endocrine to harmonize hormonal functions. Work next on enhancing low energy zones such as heart and vitamin D. Recommend daily sessions for 2 weeks, followed by a re-evaluation. Client summary, your genius scan is highlighted, etc., etc. So, really what is cool about this, in the click of a button, it can give you the focus points to kind of focus on. It can give you a suggested genius protocol balancing, and then obviously a client summary. So this is on the general overview. You will find it on the system overview as well. And as you can see, it's the same type of layout, the summary, suggestions, key points, and the Genius balancing protocol and client summary. And with that said, as I mentioned, this is our beta version, and what that means is that this data that's available, it will be changing over a period of time. Obviously, once we begin to get feedback from users like yourself, we can then begin to refine exactly what people are sort of looking for. But I think you're right. Right now for kind of beta 1.0, it really does provide you with quick insights into the technology and helping you understand the data in a much shorter time period. So as you can see, this is the system overview. To be frank with you, I'm not too sure on how many pages the Genius AI is on. To the best of my knowledge, it's on, yeah, so it's on all of the secondary pages as well. It's on the system overview, and then it's on the general overview. And obviously one of the benefits with a general overview is that you can bring all the library, well, if you bring all the libraries over to the general overview, you can get a full analysis of everything that's on the system overview, together with your actual libraries as well. Within the actual library module, it's a bit difficult for us to be able to do an analysis just because of there's so many sub items and sub items within the actual library. So, again, it is something that we are working on, but just to be candid with you, we certainly have had some challenges with that. So, really, wherever you see the Genius AI icon, you can go ahead and click on it, and it'll provide you with that information. Now, probably the next question is there a fee for it? Yes, we are charging a monthly subscription. We would love to give it to you for free. The reality is, each time you push a button on the Genius related to the AI, it basically does a call to ChatGPT, and we obviously have to pay them. So literally every single time you ask it a question, our credit card is getting dinged. And again, it's just something that we need to do that to basically cover our expenses. But look, at the end of the day, I think it's a really great function. It's something worth exploring. You do get a free trial. I think you can use it 5 times, which means that you can push a button literally 5 times. Because each time you push a button, it'll do the API call, and then that will count as essentially one try. But please, if you do have any questions on the Genius AI, certainly reach out to me. I don't know if I have any questions at the moment.
Probably loads.
Sorry, yeah? Okay, maybe no question.
Ryan, it's Karen. Is that AI report going to be printable or emailable? And
Um,
is there an actual secondary question where we could just have it as a trial, or it's going to be directly subscription from day one? How do
you
you plan seeing this? Thanks.
so you can use it for free for basically the other 5 times, and then there is a subscription to it. Yes, there is a function here where you can actually send the report. I think you can actually email the report if I'm not mistaken. And then for some reason, we actually save the history of each question, which I'll show you shortly as well. It's just busy analyzing.
And is there something that you could do, or some of the whatever educating team here, that we could actually do like a mini little video or something like that, just to run it like how we would do a mini session using this? Would that be possible too?
Aaron, that'd be a great idea. As soon as you want to do that video, let me know and I'll put you on Zoom and off we go. Okay, there we
That's
go.
it.
Okay, so to answer your question, there is a function here where you can send to client. We did have someone report a bug to us this morning. They said that the send client function is not working. That is not correct. If the send to client function is not working on your device, it simply means that your Mac Mail or your Apple Mail or your Gmail account, your actual app has not been configured. So in other words, just make sure you have an email within your Apple Mail account as an example. Otherwise, it will not be able to open up your email account. Um, to put that into perspective, if you are logging in through a browser, through like, google.com, and you're typing in gmail.com, and then you're logging in through a browser, that means you do not have a mail set up. And so as I said, you've got the send to client function. And then in the top left-hand corner um, here you've got your subscription details. You can cancel your subscription at any time. You can go to the history, and then here you can see these are all of your saved histories. I'm not too sure why we save this, to be candid with you. But at the end of the day, because ideally you'd kind of want them all saved with a, oh no, this is actually kind of cool. If you have a look at this, I didn't realize this. So basically this is going to show you all of the AR saved results, and it's actually going to give you the person's name as well. Initially, I didn't think they would show the person's name, but as you can see it, you've got the person's name here. So you can kind of always have a quick look and go back, and you can pull up any past um, saved AI analysis that has been done. Okay, so then to kind of answer, or to maybe not answer Karen McDonald's question, is then in terms of how do we package this and how do we prepare a report, etc. Karen, to answer your question, we've been working on a new campaign which is centered around remote biofeedback. And, with that, we have created a lot of really nice high-end professional videos, very similar to the exponential training program. And I'm hoping that'll be ready probably by next week, kind of Monday or Tuesday. And then with that, we've been building out a new web page for remote biofeedback, etc. So the idea is that what we want to do with remote biofeedback is to actually start advertising Insight Quanta Capsule sessions. In other words, obviously the money for us as a company lies in doing Genius sales, but we also realize that the success of you as a practitioner helps build the success of us as a product and the success of us as a company. So what we've been working on is a development within the Insight Quanta Capsule, and then within the Genius Insight, which is essentially the practitioner directory. So that's it for the AI. If you do have any questions, by all means, just kind of reach out or send a question in this chat function somewhere, and I can gladly answer it. But kind of moving on to the directory that we've been working on, and let's just go ahead and stop sharing this. And then let's just pull up the Quanta capsule. Okay, so this is a new updated Quanta capsule program that you are looking at. And we've made some changes to the initial navigation for the simple reason that we are going to be spending advertising dollars, and we're going to be driving new potential clients to download the Quanta capsule and then to go ahead and then to book a session with someone on the directory. So typically the first page that they get once they have created an account and kind of logged in is they are presented with two options. The standard option, connect with my Genius practitioner, enter in their email address, and then upload their voice and image. Nothing changes in that respect. The other option is they are new to remote biofeedback, and they want to experience Genius Insight app for the first time. So if they go ahead and click on that, it opens up the remote biofeedback technicians. Obviously, you can see we haven't had many people sign up. We've got a few signing up. We just haven't, they're still under pending. But essentially, this is the area where it will list all of the biofeedback technicians. And essentially, we do have some criteria if you would like to be listed on the practitioner directory. We obviously don't want every Tom, Dick, and Harry that has no qualifications and has bought this for their own personal use, that is not very skilled in the Genius or in the Quanta capsule. So By all means, we obviously want to have everyone on board, but equally, if we feel that you need some additional training or maybe an inside quanta capsule training, we do have a quanta capsule course available. We just want to make sure that people that go on this directory are going to be people that understand the genius. They can talk about the genius, they can represent the product, and they can obviously represent the inside quanta capsule to the best of their ability. So that's really the kind of the criteria to be considered for the practitioner directory. But essentially, within the Genius, within the Inside Quanta capsule, you can come here to your navigation and you can see you can schedule an appointment. So, as an example, a new user can come here. Oh, I want to schedule an appointment with Connie. Click on Connie. Her duration is an hour and 30 minutes. Connie's speciality, her practice specialities, etc. None of this has been populated. Obviously, this is a kind of demo account. I'm just trying to give you an idea in terms of, what it would look like. And then from here, they can do one of two things. If they have questions to Connie, they can go ahead and they can click here. It'll open up an email account and they can reach out to Connie directly. Or alternatively, if they just wanted to go ahead and schedule a remote biofeedback session, they can click on here and then they can enter in their credit card. And then you, as the practitioner, will get notified that a new client has requested a Genius session. And just remember, once they go through this process, let's see if we can actually do it. I know. Okay, so that's not going to work. But essentially, if I wanted to make a payment now, I could go ahead and make a payment. The payment is it automatically goes through, and it automatically will connect Connie and me as the purchaser. And then it'll prompt me to my voice upload. It'll prompt me to my image upload. I'll then click finish. Connie will have all of the information. She will literally not even need to contact the person. She can then launch her Genius. She can run the assessment. She can pull out the AI analysis as a report. She can create a custom playlist, and then off she goes. And to me, all of that can be done probably in about 20 to sort of 30 minutes, maybe even less. So that's the idea that we have been building out with the remote biofeedback. We do have a few videos that we have kind of been slowly dripping through some of our social media channels. We got a final video yesterday morning, and obviously we're kind of super excited about this whole campaign because, I really want to stress it's important for us to ensure that our practitioners are successful. So again, I'm always open to ideas. If you have ideas or suggestions or feedback, by all means, you certainly have my email. Please do reach out to me. Okay, so that is what the Inside Quanta capsule is going to look like. That is what your clients are going to see who use the Inside Quanta capsule. Okay, just give me a moment here while I go through some of our questions, please. Okay, couldn't the integration change it because cyber security? Okay, question here about cyber security concerns. No, it's an API. It's a closed API, and then we obviously have it within our workspace as well, so that's fine. Protections tool. Okay, okay, let's just pull up the Genius quickly. So there was a question here, just in terms of what the aura would look like. Great question. I don't think I have an aura. Let's just do another one quick. So the Aura scan, we've kind of gone backwards and forwards with a lot and changing all the different prompts that we were looking for. And at one point, I think we had about 5 or 6 sort of different reporting functions within the Aura, et cetera, et cetera. And it was just kind of getting more and more confusing. So we tried to consolidate it again into a kind of simple click of the button, and again, just to try to help you understand our logic with this is we wanted to have one button on each and every page because, as I said, each time you push a button, we end up incurring a cost. So we just, we try to figure, instead of having 4 or 5 buttons that you can click on the Aura, we try to take all of those 4 or 5 buttons and basically put them into one sort of function. So analyze my Aura. And again, those of you that have the Genius, by all means, you've got access to this. You can use it for 5 times. So go to the Aura, run a few scans and have a look and see what it's like. Okay, analyze my Aura. Okay, it provides you with Aura analysis, your balance Aura frequency protocol. It gives you some sort of focus on grounding exercises, engage in activities that open and heal the heart chakra, spiritual practices, energy field analysis, which is general, and then emotional connections to the aura scan, and then specific recommendations as well. So, essentially what you're going to see within each and every aura function is aura analysis, number 2, Genius balance aura frequency protocol, number 3, energy field analysis, number 4, emotional connections, and then number 5 here, it should be number 5, and then the recommendations. So that's pretty much what you're looking for. Obviously, each aura will be interpreted differently. So again, like with literally a click of a button, you can click on this, send to client, go to your general overview, do the AI, click on send to client, boom, you've just done a full analysis, and then go ahead and then create your Insight Quanta capsule, and your job as a practitioner is done. Just saying. Okay. So we are now back to the directory. Let me just see if I can find it. Okay, so to apply to get listed under the Quanta Capsule directory is under obviously the Quanta Capsule. So by all means, go ahead and click on it. Okay. Luckily, I was already approved, so that's kind of cool. So essentially, the way the sign-up process works as an existing Genius practitioner is you will not get to this page. You'll get to another page where it'll have your email address and your name. You push a button. We then get an email notification. When we approve you, you will get another email saying, congratulations, you're approved. You then get to this page. And now this is the page where you basically are going to update your information, because obviously this information is going to be viewed on the Quanta Capsule directory. So Genius Remote Biofeedback Technician, you can go ahead and click on my profile. If you want, obviously you can change your image. You can select your mastery. Now, it's kind of important. It's worth noting here that within the in-app library purchase function within the Genius, we've tried to improve the kind of user experience, and to tie into the user experience within the in-app library purchases, we've made changes to this actual profile as well. So your first point is, what is your mastery? You can select any or all that applies. So in other words, what is your speciality? And when you select this, it just helps the directory when people want to search for a specific mastery. Maybe someone's looking for someone who has a focus on emotions, as an example. That's your mastery, obviously your bio, your specialities, your websites, your Facebook page, and then obviously your Instagram as well.
Okay, I don't need to hear this. I don't
So
know.
this is your information that you can go ahead, you can update, and then that's your profile. And then you can obviously view your live listing here. So this will show you what your live listing looks like. As you can see, this is my live listing. And then here you can go to your history. So in other words, when people actually book and pay through this portal, here you can track the history of all of your past clients. And your settings, here you can go to your settings as well, and you can set the time for your sessions, and you can set your session price. How you get paid for this, obviously we do charge a percentage for merchant account fees and everything else, but when you're approved for this process, we send you a link, and you enter in your bank details and you just automatically get paid out. We use Stripe credit card processing. They have a really cool function which is called a connected account, and everything is sort of automated where we push a button and then you automatically get paid. And then obviously you can track your accounting through your history over here, and then obviously with each payment you get a sales receipt as well. So that's basically it for the directory. As you can see, we have not many people within the directory as we launched it officially yesterday. So for those of you that would like to have an opportunity to showcase your expertise, that would like to have an opportunity to maybe drum up additional clientele through our marketing efforts, by all means, please do go here. It's really simple to get here. Go to your Quanta Capsule navigation. Underneath Get Listed, Quanta Capsule directory, make the application, and then when we send you the go ahead, you kind of just follow that process through. Very simple, very automated process. And with that said, just to kind of jump down to the libraries that I was talking about. So, within the library marketplace, and again, within the Genius, you can actually purchase additional libraries directly within the Genius, which means it's a much more quicker, much automated process. But as an example, when you click on the libraries, your first options here is your different essentially masteries. So as an example, if you want to look for everything related to anti-aging, you would click on sort of anti-aging, and then it will pull up everything that has a key or a tag or a search function that is related to whichever one we selected. So that's your option within your library marketplace. You've got a search function here. You can select any keywords that you can relate to, and you can go ahead and click on search, and then it'll pull up, respective libraries that may be beneficial to you to add to your Genius program. You can also search by specific library creators as well. So in other words, if you are interested in let's say Sue Green's libraries, you could click on that, and then here you can see just all of the libraries that Sue Green has available within the app marketplace. So again, open invitation for those of you that have libraries that I think they're really cool and they're unique and you would like to make them available to our user group. By all means, you can apply to become a library ambassador as well, and very similar process to the directory. And here, I think I've got a library ambassador button here somewhere. If I can click on that, my profile, my sales and default pricing, all my libraries for sale, my master branches for sale, and all my master branches. So in other words, I can set a default pricing for all of my libraries, and I can set a default master branch pricing. And then I can go down to the libraries, and these are all the libraries that are now within my specific profile. And I can scroll through these and decide, which ones I want to make available. And for each one you select, it's pending. We get an email notification, and then we approve it. And then those libraries are instantly available for sale within the app marketplace. One of the benefits with the app marketplace is to, first of all, I guess, talk about how libraries currently work. When libraries are purchased through our Shopify website, as an example, obviously we host a lot of individual Genius practitioners libraries. And when those are sold, we then need to send funds to the library creator with your email, and they then get that, then they release the library. So, it could be a couple of hours wait. It could be a 24-hour wait. What is nice about the in-app purchase here with the libraries is everything is instant, everything is immediate. So as an example, if I wanted to purchase a library, let's say related to brain, click on add to cart. If I want to go ahead and do confirm and pay, I can click my card, and as soon as I've completed this payment, this library is automatically available within my library dashboard under the shared libraries. Obviously, I'm not going to add this because I don't need to spend $88 $8 with someone. But essentially, that is how simple the in-app library purchase is. And as I alluded to beforehand, one of the benefits, just in terms of the keys and everything else, is by having this main function here, which ties into the practitioner directories mastery as well. So we just figured if we can kind of tie those two keys together, it'll just help when people are searching for specific libraries or for specific practitioners with specific skill sets. Okay. Okay, what I'd like to do now, I'm just kind of going through the questions here, so sort of bear with me. Just depending now, goes via Stripe. How to leave for recording? There's a question here. Are you thinking people will create the frequencies without a one-to-one meeting? That is a good question. I really can't answer that. I think as a practitioner, that's up to you. It's my personal preference that for each and every client that you get, you do have a face-to-face meeting. And it's my personal preference that you do have a Zoom meeting. That is my preference, but again, at the end of the day, maybe after the first 2 or 3 sessions, someone doesn't want that or for whatever reason. Our goal with the development of, the practitioner directory is to provide an avenue where practitioners can actually generate through some of our marketing efforts. We've probably had about 30 or 35,000 people go through the Quanta capsule. And what that means is that there's a lot of people out there that are downloading the Quanta capsule and are wanting to find a practitioner. But because of the way it's always been set up, you have to be working with an existing Genius practitioner, which means that we're leaving so many potential clients, people that actually want to experience, the Genius insights. And maybe as an option, for you is maybe the first session you do a real low price, like a little introductory special. Because at the end of the day, you really want to build your clientele. You get your clientele in with a lower price point, and then once they're in, they feel the benefits, they experience the benefits, and then hopefully you have a client for an extended period of time. Okay, Lisa, thank you. In terms of you using this as a wider coaching program, yeah. So essentially, obviously it's up to each practitioner to decide how they want to structure their business, how they want to structure their remote biofeedback sessions. But for me, I think it's important to always try to make face-to-face contact through Zoom with your specific clients. Okay, do we have any more questions?
I was wondering, Ryan, in the AI report it showed at the end, it showed Bach flowers, but it didn't show any other per se recommendations. Is that something that we could add through the chat GBT? Like, I work primarily with essential oils more so than Bach flowers. Is that a particular feature that could be reprogrammed back in for us, please?
Absolutely. And again, as I said, with the AI, we had version kind of, beta 1.0. So if you are finding there are things that you would like to see change, or maybe kind of stagnant information, or maybe not enough depth information, please just shoot me an email and say, hey, on the system overview page, I would like to see maybe A, B, C, or D. And then, again, the cool thing is the way we've got the AI set up right now is that we can make changes on the back end without having to do another Genius build. So as an example, let's say the chat GPT on the system overview is just absolutely crap. We can kind of go back to our drawing board, make changes live, and then it can automatically sort of be reflected. So that's the exciting thing, and this is why I said it's kind of version 1.0, because we can just keep on adding.
Secondary, just going in here, like I've made roughly about 400 libraries that are not in obviously connected with you yet, but will be very soon, obviously. How long is that transition from the time we actually put through the libraries or different what do you want to say, submissions or whatever to you? How does that go? You have to clear them, or we just put the package together, or how does that go?
Okay, so it can take up to 7 days,
Okay.
purely because I'm just useless. But it can take as quick as like 5 minutes. Essentially, once you're approved, all of your libraries will be visible on that dashboard. And then it's just a case of you going through that dashboard and saying, okay, this one, this one, this one, this one. I think there's a way you can do like a mass update as well.
Okay.
Then we get an email notification, and then we like to just check and cross-reference and make sure that there's no existing library out there that is the exact same, or it's a replica, or something like that. So that just takes us, like an hour or two to kind of go through, and then we just push a button, and then they are live immediately.
Perfect. Thank you. This is very advanced. It's wonderful. It's timely, and I can't thank you guys enough. This is where medicine needs to go. And this is, I think, one of the best things I've ever seen, because the medical allopathic has already got one into place, which we need to have something, from our end, quantumly and naturopathically and holistically, that people have these options. And this is the first thing I've seen in the entire field. So you're pioneering and trailblazing, and for that, I'm glad to be part.
Well, thank you, darling. I appreciate it. It's like, every single time we do a sort of major development, it's like, oh my gosh, is this going to work? Or, I mean, sometimes, I'm the first one to accept. I mean, sometimes I've done stuff and it's been like a waste of sort of 3 or 4 months. But, specifically what this AI represents, just in terms of helping practitioners and just give them a bit of guidance, because I know from day one, even from the QX Skill days, it's like the biggest
Yes.
challenge is trying to interpret the data.
Yeah, for
Now,
sure.
if you've got something that can really help you and kind of assist you, and then with our new version 2.0 with the AI, you can kind of really begin to get into the sort of nitty gritty, where you can start asking it, kind of different questions, and then it can start reading the data and kind of cross-analyzing and kind of cross-referencing. So that just opens up a paradigm. Instead of us trying to use our kind of brains to crunch all this, like it's like, hey, at the end of the day, work smarter, not hard. If there's tools out there, okay, this doesn't make sense, ask more, and then you kind of narrow it down and then click to create a report or whatever it is, and then off you go.
Yeah, I think this is such an advancement, especially for, let's say, not only the general public, for a lot of people like coming into the field. There are very few of us, like you said, in the old skill days that are 20, 25 years old that have gone to university, done the biofeedback, done all our, medical training. I mean, we're trained as basically
Yeah.
quantum doctors, which we are, and nurses. And so it allows, I think, a great beginning for somewhere have a basis and that smorgasbord of stuff to look at without going through all the gobbledygook, because this is really impressive. It really is. And
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
you.
glad that what you guys have done. So anyway, just
Well, so
wanted
am
to
I. So now I say to each and every one of you, go out, download, get subscribed, let us help you build your clients. And please, always looking for feedback. Get stuck into that AI. Let us know what you think. If you think there should be like a different prompt or a different request or something, by all means, just kind of shoot it over. Always open to feedback.
I have one more now that I just thought about it. So I just got the package today. Thank you very much.
Oh, well done.
It's
It got
been-
lost, didn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's been in transit for over just today's exactly over a month. They haven't been able to
Shit, I
find
need to
it.
let Kayla know, because I think she was sending out I think she was sending you out another one. Well, that's
Well,
awesome. You've got that. So
I
this is
sent-
another thing that we've done. We've actually integrated the Neurovisor with the
That's what I was going
Genius
to
app.
ask. I
Yeah,
was going to ask. Yes.
which is
Now,
that's absolutely fantastic. Cool. Yes. Do you have any questions?
yes, so on this, which brings to mind, so let's say we're putting in the playlist or whatever from the Genius or from the Neurovisor, then technically, theoretically, the AI should be able to help with the selections and stuff like that, maybe based on the programming. Is that an interface as well that could be done?
No, and I actually really want to be clear with everyone as well. With the Neurovisor, to activate the Neurovisor, within the software of the Neurovisor app, there are specific sound files. So when you push play, it's a sound file that it's playing. It's very different technology to the Genius, because um, our sound files, we don't have any saved sound files. We kind of play audio tones dynamically based on your frequency selection, etc. So when you run the scan on the Genius on the Genius Neurovisor panel, you get the results, you get the data, you can drag those up into a balance tray, which is going to balance those items, but it's not going to activate the Neurovisor. In order to activate the Neurovisor, you need to launch the Neurovisor app and then go to and then essentially have a look at the Genius Neurovisor integration, see the top 2 or 3 highest playlists, then launch the Neurovisor app, find that playlist, and then you kind of good to go. So I just really want to, I really would like to emphasize that Neurovisor, it's a phenomenal product, but it's a phenomenal product because the playlist that they've created, it's an audio file and it's in sync with those flashing lights. So it's a very kind of time consuming task. So I just kind of wanted to clear that up with you as well. But yeah, super excited. Let me know how you feel with the neurovisor as well, Karen. That'll actually be really cool. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's got some really cool. They've got some cool new programs in there as well. Super. All right, everyone. Thanks so much, and thanks for joining. And hopefully this is live on YouTube with a bit of luck. No idea. Anyway, cheers, everyone. Bye bye.